Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekly update. This week I do have some exciting news. I finalized the tank that I'm going to be getting for my office. This has been a long process in terms of figuring out what tank I wanted, what fits, and just really getting the funds to get the tank. Initially, I was trying to get a 7 to 8 foot tank in the office, but after doing some assessment on the office and in terms of the angle of the doorway and getting the tank inside, I won't be able to fit anything larger than like a 7 foot tank through the door just on a weird angle. And then also like there is a desk in the way, so I have to move the desk out of the way and have to take the doors down in order to fit the actual tank inside. And then there really was a debate between justifying spending that much for a 7 foot tank when I could just get a 6 foot tank, and the cost would be a lot lower. After a little bit of research, I narrowed it down to the Waterbox Frag tank I wanted. But then I noticed that the frag tank that I was interested in, it didn't have some of the things I wanted on the stand. It was plywood, or basically like the wood stand, and it's not like the aluminum frame. And so I kind of debated if that's the tank I wanted, where I can get the tank and get like a different stand for it. I actually reached out to Waterbox and asked them if I can get that tank on an aluminum frame, like a custom aluminum frame. And they said, well, we're actually doing something very similar to what you are looking for. It's just going to, be another like couple weeks. Because what ended up happening was they discontinued their frag line and they brought it back, and they basically did exactly what I wanted with an aluminum frame um, stand on the tank. So long story short, I placed an order on the tank last week. The estimated ship time is going to be sometime next month. So I'm super, super excited to get this tank finally. These fish have been waiting for almost like 2, 3 years to get a larger tank to swim in. And, I kind of already, made that promise in terms of getting that large tank. And finally, I'm able to fulfill that commitment that I wanted to do for the fish. So I'm excited to get this tank. The dimensions are exactly what I wanted. I wanted like a low profile tank, so the height is only 16 inches, which is awesome. So the tank right now that I have in the back here, the height is 12 inches, so another 4 inches is not that bad. It's a lot wider than the tank that I have right now, almost a little over 2 feet, so plenty of room for them to swim around in. And it's a 6 foot tank. The great thing about this tank is the price. The price is literally, half the price point that I was going to spend on the 7 foot tank. And that this is great. This is awesome. The other thing is the aluminum frame, like I mentioned. The sump is redesigned, so the redesigned sump is slightly bigger, and then it also could fit a roller, but I probably won't do a roller. And then the auto top off reservoir tank here is a little bit bigger as well. A cool thing about this is you can remove this or add in this to make the chambers a little bit bigger, smaller, or can remove it completely. Um, so a little new redesign on the sump and the aluminum frames, plus the footing for it. So this is really awesome. And then comparing to the old design here, you can see they had the plywood, and the reservoir tank is on the side, left or right. It for the most part it looks pretty much the same. The actual sump is slightly different, right? Um, the tubing is going to be slightly different, but the tank itself, the dimensions and everything is the exact same. And then the great thing is the price. The price actually is a lot cheaper by almost $500, I believe. Yeah, $300. Yeah, $400. Almost about $400 cheaper. So yeah, so great price point. And yeah, I'm super excited. So this is the tank I'm getting for the upgrade. So I'm super excited for it. I hope you guys are too. Um, and so which leads to me in terms of clearing up some space so that we can eventually move this whole rack outside to the garage temporarily, house everything, set up the tank, cycle it. It's going to probably take like a month. and then put everything back together. So yeah, so this week I'm going to start basically cleaning up the garage, making space for the delivery shipment of this for next month. I basically need to clear out some room because I had sold, my 54-gallon tank outside. I got plenty of room now, so move really everything forward and then put everything along the side of the garage so the middle is more open, and that way, when the people who are going to deliver the tank, they can just basically, place the tank in the garage, and that way I can take my time taking down the tank, setting it up outside, and then building the stand, and then getting some help to move the tank inside the house. So yeah, so that's the news. I got it in white. It was either white or black. They didn't have any other colors, and I'm not really sure why they actually put it under the Infinia line. Because normally, if you look here, that line right here is gray, or like a silver color. So their line initially was this, and then they added this line into there, and it's only black or white. So it's kind of interesting that they combined these two lines together, even though the design is really, really different, right? So yeah, this was a tank that I got. The other tank that I was actually looking at too was this one here. So the only difference is the height is taller, and also like the sump looks like it's a little bit bigger too. So the height here is just 23 or almost 24 inches versus the 16-inch. And I was debating on this because the price point here is not that much more, to be honest, to getting this. But I don't really like tall tanks because then I would need to get like some sort of like ladder or some sort of like chair to stand on to actually do changes and stick my arm in there. With 16 inches, I think 16 inches is perfect height. It's taller than the 12-inch that I have currently, and then also it's shorter than the 54-gallon that I have, which is 19 inches. So it's kind of like in the middle between those two, and I think this is going to be awesome to work with as well. So yeah, so this next couple weeks is going to be a little bit busy in terms of moving stuff around, getting things ready. Um, I'm going to be gone this weekend, and then also I've been recovering from being sick like all of last week, and then also this week as well. So voice is gone, but I hope you guys enjoy this update. I'm super excited for it. Making sure you guys stay tuned. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you're subscribed. And always, the next guys, peace.